So that stress will affect to your what? Your hypothalamus, right? Now, hypothalamus that will release what is that? The CRH. What is the CRH?
So cortisol
Cortico
is hormone.
Yes. So the CRH that will act upon the anterior pituitary gland. Okay. So this anterior pituitary gland that will secrete your ACTH. What is ACTH? ACTH.
adenocorticotropic
Adenocortico. Yes, sir.
What? Adenocortico cortico?
Uh,
Hormone.
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 Traffic hormone. Okay. So okay. So this secretion of the ACTH that will stimulate to your adrenal cortex, right? So the adrenal cortex now it will release two things, that is your mineral corticoids and the glucocorticoids, right? So if the mineral corticoids will release, okay, then your salt and water retention will be there, okay, and that will increase the blood volume, okay, and that will increase the blood pressure, right? That's why what we are telling, those people who are under the stress, no, they they will suffer from the high blood pressure. That's why we are suggesting them, don't take the stress, hmm? Don't overthink anything, okay. So so that the what is that, the release of CRH will be less, okay, and that will also what is that, decrease the release of the, sorry, secretion of the ACTH, okay, and so that the mineral corticoids will be down, okay. Like that we'll find the glucocorticoids, okay. So what will happen, yes, when your glucocorticoids will be released from the adrenal cortex, then that will increase your what, blood glucose, okay, and that will increase your catabolism of the fat and the protein, okay, so that due to the increase of the fat and the protein and the blood glucose, right, your inflammatory response will decrease, okay. If the inflammatory response will decrease, at that time your immune response will also decrease, right? So that is the actually very longer term response, because whenever someone is taking steroids, no, in form of what is this, mineral corticoids, glucocorticoids, they are the steroids, right? So the glucocorticoids during some what is that, inflammatory conditions, in high inflammatory conditions, we are giving the glucocorticoids, no, to reduce the inflammation, okay. So if the inflammatory condition or the inflammatory response will decrease, okay, then your immune response will also decrease, right? That's why in severe condition only we are giving the steroids to the patient, okay, only to reduce the inflammatory conditions. But those patients, they were very much prone towards the, what is that, yeah, immunodeficiency, okay. They will be very much prone towards the infections, right? So if the hypothalamus, if the stress will be there, okay, this is one side of the what is that, what we have studied. Another side, that I have given you the question, right? The hypothalamus that will actually when the stress will come, that will stimulate to the sympathetic center, right? At the that present at the hypothalamus. So that sympathetic center that will uh, activate the sympathetic nerve along with the adrenal medulla. Okay. So what we have studied the medulla, right? So that is the thing. What I have now uh, told and described all these things, that is actually the cortex, right? But what we have studied yesterday, that is the when the stress will be there, then the sympathetic center that will be activated. So when the sympathetic center will be activated, that will activate or stimulate the sympathetic nerve, and also that will stimulate to the adrenal medulla, right? So the sympathetic nerves, they will what is that your what you can say, they will also um, stimulate to your adrenal gland, right? So the sympathetic nerves actually they are they release some neurotransmitters, right? So these neurotransmitters, they are known as your norepinephrine. Okay. So the adrenal medulla that also releases the norepinephrine. Okay. Uh, but adrenal medulla, it releases more epinephrine than the norepinephrine, right? So what we can say, when the stress will be there, that will stimulate to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will activate the sympathetic center. When the sympathetic center will be activated, that will stimulate to your sympathetic nerves and to the adrenal medulla. So the sympathetic nerve that will activate your norepinephrine, okay, majorly, and the adrenal medulla that will release the adrenaline, or or you can say the epinephrine. What is that? Adrenaline and the norepinephrine, right? So when the epinephrine, norepinephrine will be released, then the heart rate will increase, right? Once the heart rate will increase, that will increase the blood pressure, okay, and that also i- in- increases the blood glucose level, right? So at that time, what will happen? The digestive activity will be go down, okay, for the short response, okay. So we have got two things, right? One is very short response, one is the longer response, okay, or you can say a short term response or the long term response, right? When the long term response occurs, when the CRH will release, and that will come through the anterior pituitary, right? When the CRH will release, that will stimulate to the anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary will release the ACTH. That ACTH will directly act upon your adrenal cortex. So that will release, what is that? Two chemicals, mineral corticoids and the glucocorticoids. Okay. So the mineral corticoids, when it will increase, okay, the salt and water retention will be there in your body. That will increase the blood volume, okay, and that will also increase the blood pressure, right? Like that, if the glucocorticoid will be there in your body, that decreases the inflammatory process or inflammatory response, that decreases the increases the blood glucose, okay, and that also increases your what is that, your catabolism of fat and the protein, right? What is adrenaline? Adrenaline is the epinephrine, okay, and noradrenaline, that is the norepinephrine, okay. Two terms, similar. Okay. So noradrenaline, that is the postganglionic neurotransmitters, okay, of the sympathetic nervous system. Okay. So sympathetic nervous system means what? That is the sympathetic division of your autonomic nervous system. No, you know that autonomic nervous system is actually divided into two. What is that? Your sympathetic and the parasympathetic, right? So this adrenaline and some noradrenaline, okay, they are released into the blood from the adrenal medulla during the stimulation of the sympathetic nervous system. And the action of these hormones, they prolongs and they augments the stimulation of your sympathetic nervous system. Okay. So they are actually structurally very similar, and they have the similar effects also. Okay. So together, they actually increase the potential, okay, of the fight, or we can say the flight response. Okay. So that will increase the heart rate, that will increase the blood pressure. Okay. And that will divert the blood to essential organs, no, in yesterday I have told you that, including the heart, the brain, skeletal muscles, no, by by doing the vasodilator, no, or you can say by dilating the blood vessels and constricting those blood vessels. Okay, that is less essential, no, mainly less essential organs, no, such as the skin, and the stomach, duodenum, intestines. Okay, because they have no role with fighting or flight away. No, only the skeletal muscles will work, right? And that also increases the metabolic rate, and they that also increases the uh, dilatation of your pupil. No, you know, when something you will you look at like a ghost, no, suppose, or a big tiger approaching to you, you look like this, no, your pupil will be dilated, right? So this adrenaline, that has the greater effect on the heart and the metabolic process, whereas the noradrenaline, okay, there is the more influence on the blood vessels. Okay. So this is the adrenal medulla, that is actually this medulla that is completely surrounded by the adrenal cortex, no, because I have shown you outer side it is the cortex and medulla is the marrow part, no, the middle part of the gland. So this adrenal medulla that develops from the nervous tissue, okay, in the embryo, and that actually is the part of your sympathetic division of your autonomic nervous system. Okay, that's why that sympathetic nerves, no, they actually releases neurotransmitters of your, what is that, norepinephrine. Okay, like that, this medulla also it releases norepinephrine along with the, what is that, epinephrine. No, so they both produce the hormone adrenaline. No, what is that, epinephrine and the noradrenaline or norepinephrine. Okay. Okay. So we'll see about the cortex. No, what is that? What cortex? Adrenal cortex, right? As you know that this adrenal cortex that produces actually three groups of steroids. Okay, or you can say it produces the group of steroid hormones from your cholesterol. Okay, that's why cholesterol is essential. You don't think that those who have the cholesterol they have the negative feedback. No, cholesterol is much more required, but over storage everywhere it is bad, right? So this adrenal cortex that actually produce three groups of steroid hormone, okay, from the cholesterol, and they are collectively known as your adrenocorticoids, okay, adrenocorticoids, or you can say it is the corticosteroids, okay. So the corticosteroids that we can group is a three groups, no. One is glucocorticoids, another is your mineral corticoids, and another is your androgens or the sex hormone, right? So glucocorticoids, mineral corticoids, and the sex hormone, or you can say the androgens, okay. These three groups are there. So the hormone in each group, they have the different characteristic of action, but due to their structural similarity, okay, their action may be overlapped to each other, right? Okay, you got my point. The hormones, they each group of the hormone, they have the different characteristic of action, but due to the structural similarity, their actions may overlap. First, we will see about the glucocorticoids. Okay, so these glucocorticoids that actually releases one hormone. That hormone is known as your cortisol. No, you have heard this name. The cortisol, or otherwise known as your hydrocortisone. Okay, that is the main glucocorticoid. But very small amounts of corticosterone and the cortisone, they are also produced. No, so this cortisol, that is the main glucocorticoid, means the glucocorticoid, the main component is your cortisol, but small amount of your corticosterone and the cortisone, they are also produced, okay. And they are essential for life, right? Like regulating the metabolism and response towards the stress. That is the main of thing. What is that? Response to stress. That is the main thing. So secretion, that is actually controlled through a negative feedback system, right? Again, and that came, okay, because everywhere, whatever the endocrine system you will study, there you will find the negative feedback, right? Until unless the negative feedback will not be there, okay, how the hypothalamus will come to know? No, whether you need more hormone or not, right? So due to this negative feedback system that actually involve the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary, right? So it is stimulated by hormone. Which hormone? ACTH, okay. So this ACTH from the anterior pituitary, and due to the stress also, right, uh, that actually activates the adrenal gland, okay, or that stimulates this adrenal gland, mainly to the adrenal cortex that we are studying here right now. So in normal condition, the secretion that uh, uh, you can say it is in normal circadian variation, you will find some amount of hormone that will release, and that is useful for our body, right? So the highest level of hormone that secretion occurs between morning hour, right? Again from the near about 4 a.m, okay, and 8 a.m. At that level, the glucocorticoids goes very high, okay. and the lowest you can say the secretion that is at the midnight. Okay, and near about 3 a.m. You'll find there is a low level of your glucocorticoids. So when the sleeping and the walking pattern that is actually changed due to the circadian rhythm, right? So due to the pattern that is changed, it takes several days, no, to adjustment of the ACTH uh, and the cortisol secretion, okay, to take place inside that. So what will happen here, that the influence of the circadian rhythm, okay, how that affects to the hypothalamus, right? So as you know that when the circadian rhythm it is changed or something disturbed, no, so that will stimulate to your hypothalamus, right? Now this hypothalamus, due to this circadian rhythm stimulation, that will release the corticotropin releasing hormone, or commonly what we know is the CRH, no, and that will stimulate to the anterior lobe of your pituitary gland, and that pituitary gland will release the ACTH. What is that? ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay, so this adrenocorticotropic hormone that will stimulate to the gland. Which gland? Adrenal cortex, right? So this adrenal cortex that will release the glucocorticoid to the bloodstream, right? So when the glucocorticoids in the bloodstream will increase, then there will be, you can say, what you say, the raised blood glucocorticoid level that will give the inhibition effect, or you can say the negative feedback to the anterior pituitary and to the hypothalamus, right? So that the hypothalamus will think, no, now it is not required to release more CRH, so the ACTH will not be released properly, so the adrenal cortex will stop releasing the glucocorticoid level. But when this glucocorticoid that will be used in our body, okay, used by the body cells, then there will be the lower, what is that, blood glucocorticoid level. That will give stimulation effect, the positive feedback to the hypothalamus, right? As usual, we have seen in other glands also, right? So this is the negative feedback regulation of the glucocorticoid secretion, right? Okay, so uh, mainly what I told you about the gluconeogenesis. Okay, what is that? Uh, Gluconeogenesis. Okay, so what happens with this gluconeogenesis? What I told you. Okay, what happens here in gluconeogenesis? The breakdown of the sugar and the protein will be there, means formation of your protein will be there, and also you'll find the, what is that, if the breakdown of the sugar will be there, what will find, you'll find the hyperglycemia, right? So this sugar level after breakdown, that they will uh, mixed with the bloodstream, right? So that will form your hyperglycemia. That means what? Raised blood sugar level. Like that, you will find another effect, right? So that another effect is your, what is that? Lipolysis. Okay, uh, lipolysis. Okay. So in your lipolysis, what happens here? In your lipolysis, mainly the breakdown of the triglycerides will be there. So that breakdown of triglyceride, that will make your, what is that, fatty acid. Okay, and uh, and it will produce the glycerol and the fatty acid, which is mainly for the energy production. Okay, like that, you will find the uh, stimulating the breakdown of the protein. Okay, that will release the amino acids, no, which can be used for the synthesis of other proteins, like the releasing the amino acids, no, which can be used for the synthesis of other proteins, like your enzymes, or in form of your energy, no, and you can say in the form of your ATP production, right? And this also helps in your promotion, or you can say the promoting the absorption of your sodium inside the water, no, means absorption of the sodium and water from the renal tubules. No, what is that renal tubule? You know that PCT, DCT, loop of Henle. Have you heard about these terms? Collecting duct, no. So that is what the part of your nephron, right? So PCT means what? Proximal
Proximal convoluted
tube, right? Fine.
tubule.
Yeah, yeah. So there, what will happen? Reabsorption of your sodium will be there. That will uh, reabsorption of water will be there from the bloodstream. Okay, from the renal tube. So uh, at that time, what will happen if the sodium absorption will be more? The sodium will draw the water, right? Are you getting me? When the sodium will be there, sodium always draws the water, right? So water retention will be there inside the body, right? That's why when you will see a patient who is taking more and more what is that, your steroids, no, so you'll feel that they are having the moon face, no, the face will be rounded, they are looking very heavy. Okay, uh, but very weak, but still they are heavy, right? Means like you're obese, right? So this obeseness is due to the retention of water, okay, inside your interstitial tissue, right? So so in some pathological conditions, in your pharmacological conditions, like some quantities of, if the glucocorticoids, they commonly we are referring as a steroid, you know, also they have the effects, that is the anti-inflammatory action. If the chronic inflammation is there, then we are giving what is that, this type of steroids to stop that. And we also giving in case of when the immune system will be hyperactive, right? When the autoimmune disease will be there, at that time what will happen, to suppress the immune system, or you can say the immune response, we are giving the steroids, right? And when the wound, that healing process will be um, uh, okay, so yes, no, when we will take the steroids, okay, then it will delay the wound healing. Why? Because as I told you, it decreases the, what is it, inflammatory action, right? When the inflammatory action will decrease, that will decrease the immune system also, right? once immune system will decrease, then wound healing will be also delayed, right? So this is the thing. Like that, we have the aldosterone. Okay, what is this aldosterone? Aldosterone is the main mineral corticoids, right? So mm, mainly the mineral corticoids, okay, uh, that is actually functions as a associated with your maintenance of the water and the electrolyte, okay, inside your body. You know that some patients, you might have heard about that some elder patients, they have got the sodium potassium imbalance, no? So they went for coma. That's why they are admitted to ICU, and now the sodium potassium level we are increasing by giving the what is that, drips, no? So these imbalance, the maintenance of this water, that becomes imbalance, and the electrolyte imbalance, okay, that occurs due to the either the high mineral corticoid level, or that may be due to the low mineral corticoid level. Okay, so here what happens, the negative feedback system, okay, that will stimulate the reabsorption of the sodium, okay, by the renal tubule, and the excretion of your, what is that, potassium, okay. Potassium should be excreted out, okay, and the sodium should be reabsorbed, right? So what happens, the sodium reabsorption, okay, that will also uh, draw the water, no? So the retention of water will be there. Therefore what will happen, this aldosterone, that will involve in regulation of your blood volume, okay, and that will also maintain the blood pressure, right? So the blood potassium level, that will regulate the amount of aldosterone that is produced by the adrenal cortex. No. So when the blood potassium level raises, okay, there what we have studied, the sodium level raise. Okay, if the sodium level raise, then it reabsorbs the water level. No, so the blood volume increases. When the blood volume increases, that increases your blood pressure. If the potassium level, that will increase, okay, so there what, when the sodium increases, potassium should be excreted out inside the urine, no? But here, if the sodium, what is that? If the sodium level decreases and the potassium level that increases, okay. If that level regulates the amount of aldosterone that is produced by this adrenal cortex. So when the blood potassium level raise, okay, or increase, right? Then what will happen? More and more aldosterone will be secreted, okay, and low blood potassium has the opposite, okay, effect, right? Then this angiotensin, that actually stimulates the release of aldosterone. How it releases, that we'll see right now, okay. So if there is the what is that, increase in your mm, uh, potassium level, then it will decrease the sodium level, no? Always it is like that. Suppose you will have the low renal blood flow, okay. If the low renal blood flow will be there, then what will happen, that will decrease the blood volume, okay. Once the, what is that, low renal blood means what? Mm, you know that this all blood, they are actually filtered over here in kidney, right? Through this kidney, after what is that, filtration, it goes towards the liver, then to the inferior vena cava, then to what is that, means it goes to the inferior vena cava, and through the liver it is going towards the right heart, atrium of your heart, right? So here what happens, once the blood volume will be decreased, or the blood flow to the renal system, that will be decreased, then what will happen, that will decrease the blood volume, so that will decrease the blood pressure also. And so what you got, there will get the decrease in your blood sodium level, right? So here just we'll draw all these things so that it will be easy for you. There will be low renal blood. Okay, so if the low renal blood will be there, okay, that decreases the blood volume. I will write, okay, that decreases the blood volume. Okay, that decreases the blood pressure. Okay, and that decreases the blood, what is that, sodium level. Okay, decreases the Na plus, right, sodium, NaCl, no, Na plus Cl minus, right? So NaCl, decrease in sodium level, right? So if this thing will happen, that affects where, that affects your kidney. Okay, that affects your kidney. Okay. If the at the kidney that effect will be there, then what will happen, that will do the secretion of your renin. No, it will do secretion of renin. Okay, so the secretion of renin, that will affect, what is that, angiotensin. That will affect the angiotensinogen, okay, angiotensinogen, right? So this angiotensinogen, that will affect, what is that, angiotensin 1, no, that will affect your angiotensin 1, right? So this angiotensin 1, that will affect to the stimulate to the angiotensin 2. Okay, in, okay, in your what is that, AC regulator, no, so that will stimulate to your angiotensin 2, right? So this angiotensin 2, that will be affect to the, what is that, adrenal cortex. Okay, it will affect to your adrenal cortex. Okay, and when the this adrenal cortex will be stimulated by this angiotensin 2, okay, that will secrete, what it will secrete, aldosterone. Okay, it will secrete the secretion of aldosterone. Is it okay? Okay, aldosterone. So this aldosterone, when the aldosterone will be secreted, that will effect upon the kidney tubules. Okay, that will affect to the kidney tubules. Okay, so when the kidney tubules will be what is that, affected by this aldosterone, then what it will do, it will absorb the reabsorption of your what? Sodium and water? No. It will affect the reabsorption of sodium. Okay. And so that will what is that? Draw the water also. Okay. Sodium and water reabsorption will be there. So there will be the what is that? Water retention will be there in your body, right? So this water retention that will affect to your what is that? Blood volume. Okay. So if the blood volume will be there, so that the blood volume will increase. Okay. Blood volume increases at this time, right? So what happens here? After this blood volume increases, okay, it will give the which feedback, positive feedback or negative feedback, inhibition or stimulation. Now, when the blood volume will increase, that will give inhibition or even the reabsorption of the sodium will be there, more and more sodium, and the water level will increase. So water retention will be there. Okay. So if the water retention will be there, that will increase the blood volume. If the blood volume will increase, then that will increase the blood pressure, right? So if the blood pressure will increase, okay, increase the blood pressure. So this blood pressure when it increases, it will give kidney negative feedback or positive feedback. It will give the inhibition effect. That will inhibit the kidney, right? Inhibit kidney means what? It will ask the kidney not to produce more renin, right? So so that the renin and the angiotensin that will now affect to the angiotensin angio what is it, tension, and that will not affect to the adrenal cortex, so that adrenal cortex will not secrete more aldosterone, and this aldosterone that will not affect to the kidney table, and that will not absorb the sodium and uh, will not draw the water, right? So this is the thing is going on, okay, in your adrenal cortex. But if you will see, due to the angiotensin 2, okay, what is this angiotensin 2? This angiotensin 2, this is one type of vasoconstriction, right? What is this? Vasoconstriction. Okay, so if vasoconstriction will be there, that will increase the blood pressure or decrease the blood pressure? What it will do? Yes,
Increase the blood pressure.
yes, increase the blood pressure. Okay. So once increased blood pressure will be there, it will affect it will give negative effect to the kidney or positive effect? Again, negative, no, inhibition effect. Again, it will give the inhibition effect, right? So this is how your what is that, aldosterone that releases and controlled by your kidney, right? So kidney, its action is to release or to secrete the renin. So this renin will act upon your angiotensinogen. Along with the angiotensinogen, it will create your angiotensin 1 and angiotensin 2. So if this angiotensin 2 will be more, if it will be more in your blood, then that will cause your vasoconstriction. So this vasoconstriction will increase the blood pressure. So this blood pressure will again give negative inhibition effect to the kidney, so that the renin will be go down. So all these effects will be again controlled, right? Otherwise, If this angiotensin 2 is there, if that also affect to your adrenal cortex. If the adrenal cortex, if that will be stimulated by the angiotensin 2, then it will secrete the aldosterone. So this aldosterone, as I have already told you, it is affecting to your kidney tubules, and these kidney tubules, they have the capacity to reabsorb the sodium, and the so that the sodium will draw the water level. So water and sodium level will increase. So that will increase the blood volume. Okay, and that blood volume will also increase the blood pressure. So again, this blood pressure will give the negative feedback to the kidney. Okay, and this kidney will again reduce the secretion of the renin. Okay, so this is the cycle. It is just going on. Okay, the abnormalities, that is pathology. Okay, that will not cover. Will study that during the pathology uh, period, right? When you will study the pathology, at that time you will study, right? Okay, so here up to now what we have studied, that we have studied the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. Okay, so this renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system, that when the renal blood flow that is reduced, or the blood sodium level fall down, the enzyme renin, that is secreted by the kidney cells, the renin, that will convert the plasma protein angiotensinogen, right? That is produced by what? Angiotensinogen produced by what? Here I have written, you have not asked me. Angiotensin, angiotensinogen is produced by what? Who can say? Nobody? Unmute yourself. I try to answer always. Renin, it is secreted by your kidney. What about the plasma protein angiotensinogen? Angiotensinogen, what is that? That is a plasma protein. Okay. So this angiotensinogen, who can say it is produced by?
The liver.
Yes, liver, right? So the plasma protein angiotensinogen, that will be produced by the liver. To what is that? Angiotensin 1. Okay, and this angiotensin, that will convert the enzyme. No, ACE means what? ACE means what? Here I have written angiotensin converting enzyme. Okay, so due to the angiotensin converting enzyme, the angiotensin 1, that is formed in small quantities in the lungs also. Okay, that is actually proximal kidney tubule and other tissue that will affect. Okay, so all these what is that? Angiotensin ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme, uh, that actually found inside what? Inside the lungs, inside the PCT, proximal kidney tubule. Okay, and other surrounding tissues. So they will convert this angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Okay, which will stimulate the secretion of your aldosterone. Okay, and it also causes the vasoconstriction. Okay, which increases the blood pressure. Okay, so once the blood pressure again till the kidney. Okay, so that release less renin. So angiotensin and angiotensin will be less released, and so that it will affect to the adrenal cortex in less way. So that aldosterone will also release less. No, like this
सर
is going on.
सर
Like,
ये
बोलो.
एंजियोटेंसिन 1 कन्वर्ट होता है पीसीटी में एंजियोटेंसिन 2 में.
नहीं, एक्चुअली एंजियोटेंसिन जो 1 है वो एसी की वजह से, मतलब क्या है, एंजियोटेंसिन कन्वर्टिंग एंजाइम है ना, की वजह से वो एंजियोटेंसिन 2 में कन्वर्ट होता है ना। तो क्वेश्चन आएगा कि ये एंजियोटेंसिन कन्वर्टिंग एंजाइम कहाँ पर है, ये कहाँ पर है? इट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय small quantity produced by lungs, okay, proximal kidney, sorry, proximal kidney tube, what is that? PCT, what do you say? PCT, proximal convoluting tube, not tube is
Convoluted
right,
tube, sir.
PCT.
Yes, sir.
Yes, uh, I'm very much poor in pronouncing, okay.
No.
So PCT and other tissue, okay. So
सर
these
लंग्स और
tissue,
लंग्स स्मॉल वॉल्यूम में और ये उसमें बाकी पीसीटी में.
lungs or PCT and some other tissues. Okay,
Okay, sir.
they produces the ACE, means angiotensin converting enzyme. So due to the reaction of ACE on the angiotensin 1, okay, this angiotensin 1 will convert into angiotensin 2, right? But remember, this angiotensin 2 is vasoconstriction in nature. So due to the vasoconstriction, it compresses the blood vessels, so it increases the blood pressure. Okay, that gives negative feedback to the kidney. Okay, like that. This angiotensin 2, it also stimulates the adrenal cortex. So you can say it stimulates the secretion of your aldosterone. Okay, that will cause the vasoconstriction, and that will increase the blood pressure. Okay, that also affects to this kidney. Okay. So we have studied the adrenal medulla, we have studied the adrenal cortex, right? And another group, that group is your sex hormone. Okay, so there is nothing much important over here, because this sex hormone that's secreted by this adrenal cortex, okay, that are actually mainly the androgen, okay, androgen hormone, or you can say it is the male sex hormone, okay. And the amount that is produced, that is actually insignificant. That you cannot compare with the androgen secreted by the testis also, right, and the ovary also, right, in the late puberty. So here some little amount of androgen that is actually secreted by this adrenal cortex. So that is not mineral corticoids or glucocorticoids. So that's why we have just what is that, separated it out, okay, from that this small amount of sex hormone, mainly the male sex hormone, okay, the androgen, okay, that actually very less, insignificant amount, okay, that leads and that uh, mainly type of hormone, okay, that androgenic hormone that's secreted by the testis and ovaries, okay, after the puberty and at the late puberty, okay, and means during the adulthood, okay. So this is all about your adrenal gland, okay. Do you have any doubt?